Now that we've installed WordPress, what we need to do is do our initial setup of our site. So if we were to look at this right now, go to Visit Site, this is what it looks like. So we're going to want to improve the design a bit, and then of course we need to get things looking the way we want as far as stuff on the left sidebar here. Now you're free to use any WordPress theme that you want, but I'm just going to go with the default theme here. One of the reasons that we like to use WordPress is because it automatically incorporates responsive design, which means that it will automatically adjust itself to fit smartphones and tablets and so on. So you have one site that works across all devices. So let me show you what I mean here. Let me open an emulator that will open the site the way it would look in a smartphone. So let's look at the way the site looks here. And now let me open it in a smartphone emulator. Okay, so here we have it in a smartphone emulator. And this is the front page. And you'll see that when you click over here, when you tap on it on a phone, you get all the other stuff in here. So if we were to go to one of these, it'll bring up the data and it all adjusts itself to fit on the phone. So you don't have to worry about that. Now the design doesn't look very good right now because we haven't done anything yet. But you see the advantage of this. You will be able to get your visitors from any platform and your site's going to be functional on all of those. So that's why we are going to use WordPress with a responsive design. And most of the newer WordPress themes that are built by WordPress or that are included in WordPress are already responsive. Okay, so let's go back here and let's go into we go to the dashboard, and then let's go down to Appearance and Themes. So what we see here are the themes that are included with WordPress. And on this version, we have 2015 and also 2014 and 2013, which were from previous versions. These are all responsive. Now, you can use any of these in here that you want. I'm just going to use the default theme, but you can go Add New here. And then you could do a search within the WordPress themes directory here, and you could find one that you like here. Just make sure it's responsive. You can also go to Google and do a search for WordPress themes and download one of those if you want. But I'm just going to keep it simple because as long as the site looks decent, it doesn't really have to be anything special. It just needs to be functional. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to use the default theme. So let's go and customize it. So we'll go to Customize here. And there's a number of things we can do right from here. Okay, so if we go down here, we have Site Tagline. And you'll see here just another WordPress site because when we installed it, that was the default that went in there. So you can put something else here or you can blank it out. Okay, so I just said all the best news of the day. So we're going to display the header text. Now the reason this is here is because you can actually use a header image, which we'll get to in a sec. And if you use a header image, you could turn this text off. But I'm not going to do that. So let's go to colors here. And with this one, you can use color scheme. So we have default, then we have dark. And you see that the colors changed over here, the color scheme. And then we have yellow. And then we have pink. And then we have purple. And then we have blue. So this is a really simple way that you can change it. Okay, then the background color. So right now we have it like this. So if we're going to pick blue, we could change the background color. Let's try this. So, okay, so you can mess around with it till you get it looking the way you want here. I don't think I want that one. Anyway, find one that you like, or you can do it a different way if you like. I'm gonna just use this one. Okay, and then you can change the text color if you want here. and the header and sidebar background color. So this was part of the color scheme, but if you want to change it, you can make changes in there. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Now, what I was saying about header image before, if you don't want this over here, you could use a header image, and it explains here what it does on this theme. So the sidebar on widescreen and the header on narrow screen. So when you put it on your phone, it'll be over here, and when you're looking at it on a web browser on your computer, it'll be over here. Okay, so it gives you the sizes here, so 954 by 1300. So if you're going to create one, that's the size you need to create it. But I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it the way it is, but that option is there for you. And then you have your background image. So you can use background image instead of color if you want here as well, the same way. We'll get to widgets in a minute. And static front page, we aren't actually going to use that. So we'll just save what we've done here. Okay, so let's just go have a look now. And then if we were to look at this on our phone now, this is what it looks like on the phone. So it looks a little better already just by doing that. And remember, we haven't put anything in here as far as content goes yet. So that looks better already. Okay, so let's go back into here and we're going to do some more things. Let's just go to the dashboard. Now we need to delete all the default content out of here. So go to posts and all posts. And we're just going to delete this. And we're going to go to pages and all pages. And we're going to trash this. Okay, now let's go over to plugins, and we're going to go to install plugins. And you see here that we have something called Akismet. This is an anti-spam plugin. It'll keep people from spamming your comments, so it's a good idea to enable this. Now, it says it has an update here, so of course you should update that if you're going to use it. So click update now. And then we'll click activate. Now you see here that you need to add your Akismet account. So activate. And here you can either create an account, log in, or enter an API key if you already have one. So go ahead and go into here if you don't already have a key, and then you can set up your account or log in and get your key. So just get an Akismet key, then you'll have to either register or log in here. So this is for WordPress.com, so if you already have one, you can just log in. Okay, so I'm just logging in here. So we have basic, plus, backup, and enterprise options. And name your price here. So you can click get started. And then you can go through, name your price, and get the key. Okay, so that's how you can get a key to use Akismet if you want to use it. Okay, so I just deactivated it for now because I don't have my key handy. So what we want to do now is just go and add a couple of plugins that'll help us out once this site starts getting some content on it. It'll help us out a little bit with traffic. So what we want to do here is go to popular. And then you can either install WordPress SEO by Yoast, as you see here, or All-in-One SEO Pack. I've been using All-in-One SEO Pack for years, so I'm going to install this one. But whichever one you want to use, that's fine. So we're going to activate that. And then we're going to, let's just dismiss this. Then we're going to add new again. And then we're going to go to popular again. Now I want to install a Google XML sitemap. We'll just roll down until you find it here. We'll install that. And we'll activate. Okay, now what we want to do is go and set up the all-in-one SEO pack. So up here, let's go to General Settings. Okay, and you can tweak these as you like, but there aren't very many changes that we actually need to make. What you can do here is put in a home title if you want, and home description. The description is always helpful with the search engines, and then some keywords can go here. And then down here, you can choose if you want to use keywords or tags or categories. And then the only thing I really suggest you change down here is take off the blog title off the end of these and just have the page title. Take the bar off the end there. Okay, so just do that for all of these. That's optional. If you want to leave it there, you can. Okay, and that's all I'm going to do there. So update. So now this will be available on every post. You'll be able to set your keywords and so on. Okay, so that's all we need to do there. Now let's go over to Appearance and Widgets. Let's take Meta off here. This is the login box that you see on the screen. And then we have our search, our recent posts, recent comments, archives, and categories. It's a good idea to leave these ones on here, although you can switch them around. And you can take the recent comments out if you want, because people can see the comments through the posts. So I have the search, posts, archives, and categories. Now you can change these if you want to. So let's go in here and just call this recent articles and save. And I think that's all I'm going to change there. The next thing we need to do is go down to settings, and then we want to go to permalinks. And then what we want to do is just come down here and do post name and save. So this will give you search engine friendly URLs. Let's go back to settings again, and then let's go over to general and just make sure everything's correct in here. Okay, so this is where we can change the things that we have in here. We put this in during install, and we change this during the themes setup or customization. So you can change your time zone here if you want it to reflect where you are right now. Okay, and then I'm just going to save. Now let's go to discussion. Now you don't have to allow comments on your site if you don't want. It's a good idea to have them on here actually, especially if you have Akismet installed, because you get other people creating content for you. The only problem with that is that you might get somebody putting some bad content on there that isn't caught by the spam blocker, and if you're not checking all these things, you may get some stuff on there you don't want. So it's up to you. Now, I like to turn this attempt to notify any blog linked, allow link notifications from others. I turn those off and allow people to comment on the new articles. So either turn this on or off, depending on whether you want to use it, or they have to fill out their name and email or be registered. So I'm going to have fill out their name and email, enable threaded messages. So you just set all of these the way you want. And then you can have here, email me whenever anyone posts a comment. So if you want to be notified, you can do that. Here, whether they have to be approved or whether they have a previous approved comment, so you can fill that out. And then down here, this is how you can have posts on hold by putting things in the comment moderation or comment blacklist. Well, if you put anything in here, it'll hold the comment or it'll blacklist the comment. Okay, so let's save that. Let's go to reading. This shows you how many posts you can have on the page in the syndicated feeds and whether the feed is going to be full or whether it's going to be a summary. So we can leave this the way it is unless you want to change it. And if you don't want the search engines coming, well, we do, so we're going to leave that alone. Okay, so at this point, we have our site all ready to put content on. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how to use Google Trends to put relevant content on your site.